And a branch of the U.S. government recently needed to find a city that is truly devoted to its military veterans. Well, they didn't have to look too far because it's right here in Erie.
They sure didn't. The government chose Erie to launch a pilot program to recognize and honor deceased veterans. Our John Last tells us about it in this edition of The Last Word.
Some of the most memorable stories on The Last Word have been about cemeteries. Some have been about military veterans. Today, I'm going to do a story about both. This is Erie Cemetery in the heart of the city. About 7,000 military veterans are buried here. Every war in which the U.S. has fought is represented. Naturally, gravestones that have been exposed to the elements for years and years will become dirty, moss-ridden, and eroded. Names of the veterans become unrecognizable. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs maintains gravestones at government cemeteries, not at private cemeteries. The agency wants to start a program where volunteers would be recruited to clean up veterans' grave sites at non-government cemeteries. It needed an enthusiastic city that would embrace such a project. The agency chose Erie.
You folks up here have this great spirit, community spirit, and you don't forget the veterans. And I thought, I'm going to come up here and try to do this as a pilot.
Erie Cemetery, with its 7,000 interred veterans, was selected as the pilot cemetery.
This is the first non-veteran cemetery, period, that this is happening in. I'm really excited.
This group of volunteers reported to Erie Cemetery to clean the gravestones of veterans. It's the weekend before 9/11, a very appropriate time to launch this patriotic project. The volunteers scrape mold and mildew from the stones. They apply a special solution to dissolve any stubborn debris. They use brushes, large and small, to remove all the stains and gunk.
I mean, it's going all right. It's a little bit harder, but really we're just scraping the moss off right now, and then you got to pour some water on it, scrub it down with brushes.
It makes me feel good. I'm happy that I can come out here and help all of these veterans get their names back on the stones.
Charlie Castelluccio is a Vietnam veteran who wanted to work on some older stones that lay flat on the ground. Some were in bad shape.
The one I did on the ground, you couldn't even read it. But that veteran deserves it just as much as one of these are upstanding. And to me, I'm enjoying myself. This is my happy day today.
The VA hopes the enthusiasm for this project that was ignited in Erie will spread across the country. With the last word at the Erie Cemetery, John Last, Erie News Now.
We sure hope that too, that it spreads across the
Exactly.
nation. Wow, this program also makes an effort to identify veterans who were buried at private cemeteries without a headstone.
The VA will place an engraved headstone on that burial plot. We'll be right back.